Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Homewood Patriots head basketball coach Elijah Garrison. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome in to our very first Homewood basketball episode of Coach Speak. Glad to have you with us, Coach Garrison.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm excited about this.
We are too. So before we talk about your first game, let's talk about the team a little bit. What do we expect to see from the team this year?
Yeah, so we made a regional final last year.
Nice.
We graduated 6 seniors, and so we have like 2 kids that played a lot on that team.
Okay.
And then about 3 that got some minutes here or there. So we're returning kind of like 4.5,
Right.
5 players, based off of minutes.
Right.
So I guess in terms of experience, not the most experienced team.
Right.
But an older team because we're pretty junior and senior heavy. So
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll work well for you as you get on into the season, right?
I hope so.
Yes, sir. Okay. So you've played 2 games thus far. Let's talk about each one of those.
Okay.
The first one was against Cornerstone. You won big, 84-41. Tell us about that game.
Yeah, it was a fun night. I got to talk to some older Homewood historian basketball people around here, and said that it was a really, really good opening crowd for a night before we had a home playoff football game. So I was excited. The excitement for basketball is pretty high in our community right now, and was very encouraged about the support we had on night 1. So a lot of firsts that night. Obviously, I got to get my first win here.
Yes, sir.
That was cool. I got a lot of my family was here, my parents, my wife, some of my in-laws. So that was awesome. We got to play with the shot clock, so we got to be one of the first
Nice.
games in the state that played with the shot clock, and we didn't force a shot clock violation, unfortunately, but we did make them take a bad shot at the end of the clock. So
Good.
It was a great night. And hopefully we can build on that night. That's
Right.
kind of the feeling that we're trying to chase every night is what we got to feel that night. So.
Sure. So as far as players are concerned, who played well?
Yeah, well, pretty much everybody.
Okay.
I mean, just to be honest with you.
Everybody got in on it.
When you score 84 points, that's
Yes, sir.
the ball's going in the basket a lot.
Right.
So we shot the ball well. We were in rhythm. Got a lot of deflections. Got to get everybody in that night, and so it was a good night all the way around.
Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah. So last night, kind of a tale of 2 different ball games.
For sure.
You played a very good Ramsey team and came away with a loss, 78-58.
Yes, sir.
What took place in that game?
Yeah, Denton does a good job with those guys. They're super, super talented.
Right.
He has a lot of players on that team that's going to go play at the next level.
Right.
And they're going to be a hard out for most people in most nights. And
Sure.
They got length, they have athleticism, they have skill, they have guys that can shoot it, and that causes problems for defenses. So
Gotcha.
we knew coming into the game that we wanted to make them play against a set defense. Like I think they were averaging like 15 steals a game, and
Okay.
So we wanted to try to limit turnovers and limit second chance opportunities, and then going to live with the result. And we did that for about a quarter and a half, and then they kind of imposed their will. And when quarterbacks throw pick sixes and they don't get to play against the defense,
Right.
a lot of times that's pretty good for the opposing team, right? So
Right.
we had a couple pick sixes that led to dunks and easy threes, and
Yeah.
then we kind of just chased that the rest of the night.
Gotcha.
So, but I will say this is that that's great film to have, and we're gonna learn a lot today in film, and
Sure.
just because his type of team is the type of team, like the way they play, the style they play,
Right.
that is our area teams. So
Yes.
it's good to see for future down the road.
Gotcha. So you started out, we've only got a sample size of 2 games thus far. Big win, big loss. How do you feel your team is playing right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's early, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we're, like you said, two games into this.
Right.
So, it's hard to say. I mean, last Thursday we made shots. Our energy was high. Last night we had to take tough shots. We didn't have high energy.
Right.
but I don't want us to be the team that our energy and our effort is just based off of making shots.
Right.
So we got to, and I think that maybe comes with the little experience that we have. Like we have to learn how to play even when that ball's not going in. And I tell them all the time, like defense tells you if you win, offense tells you by how much. So like we're definitely working towards some things, and it's good. Like last night, I'm not mad about last night at all. If anything, I'm kind of encouraged after watching the film. So it's going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely a learning curve, right?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Well,
absolutely.
Coach, that's our very first show. We really appreciate your time, and we certainly appreciate you watching. Watch again. This is a week in, week out type show, so we're going to have a bunch of them. We'd love to have you back next week for another Homewood version of Coach Speak.